Hey guys, welcome back to my personal project here. Having a lot of fun making these videos, so making another one this week. Gonna review the wild card from game week 30 and game week 31, and then we'll take a look at game week 32 and transfer plans. Starting things off, the first decision to take a look at is the Lascelles. You can see the red flag. He's out until at least next December. He's got an ACL. I've had 2 ACLs, so I know that it's more than just 6 to 9 months as well. But the decision to start him over Vardiol was a tough one. I had actually moved Vardiol into the starting lineup at one point and then switched him back. So brutal mistake, and it's happened a number of times this season. Probably cost me upwards of 50 to 75 points this season just based on those minor differences and those decisions. So looking around, Bradley did well with the 2 bonus points despite not keeping a clean sheet. Salah, big decision to bring him in for the wild card to take out Bowen and Douglas Luiz, who would have been my alternative starters. I can tell you that with the 72 points, we're up 11 points on what my team would have been if I hadn't wild carded. But of course, Bowen outscored Salah, so that's a bit of a tough one. Isak looked great. He got 2 penalties, which is a bit cheesy, but he's super dialed in. And then Madison, it was a big decision to keep him on the wild card as opposed to Foden, which of course in game week 31 hurt me bad. That's about 20-point swing right there. So all in all, the game week 30 wild card was a success. We moved up from 36,000 in the world to 24,000 in the world. So we'll take a look at the game week 31 points as well. I got 61 points. It was very lucky, which we'll talk about at the end with Garnacho. There was a lot of rotation. You had teams like Arsenal playing Luton that rested Saka, they rested Declan Rice, they rested a bunch of people, but they did keep most of the defenders, so Gabriel came through with the clean sheet. Bradley with an own goal, which is brutal, and I had 2 Liverpool defenders. That was a huge differential for me this week. A lot of people have double Arsenal. I had 2 Liverpool defense against Sheffield at home and got a combined 3 points, so not happy with that at all. And also missed Vardiol's 9-pointer last week, brought him in for 2 points this week. So it's just the way things go. Mo Salah continues to disappoint, but I'm not worried about it. He's going to stay. He's probably going to stay the whole rest of the season. 1 point the week I captained him. Thankfully, everybody captained him this week. It was the no-brainer. He was the highest projected point scorer, so no real damage done. Palmer is just insane. There's nothing more you can say about the guy. He's got 20 points, 15, 13. The guy's the highest scoring player since he started, I think since his first start back in like game week 6 or so. Son blanked. It's tough, but I'm not too worried about Son. Son's the only one of my differential triple Spurs that's gotten me any points in the last 2 weeks. And the real one we want to talk about is Madison. This game week was tough. Tuesday morning, I recorded a video going through my potential transfers. I was worried that Madison had only gotten like 60 minutes over the past 3 games. He didn't look great, and he was hobbling a bit. But he's done absolutely nothing, and he's just been brutal. And then moving down, we've got Isak. He's been an absolute beauty of a pickup for me. I love his 15 last week and 8 this week, but everybody started bringing him in last week. So I got a little bit ahead with the 15-pointer, but not too much to gain from the 8-pointer. And then Jackson, as we noted with Madison, they just had their double game week announced in 35. And I've made my bed with Jackson. He's going to stay. He's my boy. We're riding him till the end. You know, he can hit the woodwork. He can miss another 10 shots. He's going to stay. So let's just hope he finds the back of the net a couple times. And finally, Garnacho. Garnacho is the absolute savior of my game week. I can tell you that after Foden's hat trick, I went down from 24K back to about 41,000 in the world. And then because he's super heavily owned by the top like 10, top 100K. However, Garnacho comes in with 14 points off my bench because Haaland didn't even start, and this man is just a legend for me right now. So you can see we've got 61 points for the game week. We're up to 25K, so basically we went up 12K from the wild card. We stayed about flat in game week 31, and we're moving into game week 32 now. Taking a look at the team for game week 32, you can see we've got Petrovic with a good fixture at Sheffield. Vardiol is in. Porro with the highest projected points of any defender this week. And then the big question is the third slot. You can see I've got Bradley down on the bench. The plan the whole time when I wildcarded was to go Bradley to Aït-Nouri in this game week. But right now, I think Gabriel is going to stay. Arsenal has incredible defensive numbers. They're the best defense in the league by a good margin. And it's between Gabriel and Aït-Nouri this week. Then I could start Gabriel again next week. So the only question would come in 35 in terms of Aït-Nouri having a significant advantage over Gabriel when Arsenal play Tottenham away. And the only thing I'll finish up by saying on Aït-Nouri is that he just got a goal last week. He's basically playing left mid. He's almost got a goal the previous game week as well, so he's a good option. Just Gabriel versus Aït-Nouri feels really tight, and you wouldn't really want to bet against Arsenal keeping a clean sheet. Brighton have a ton of injuries right now, especially going forward. Their defense has been better, but I think they've just been playing more defensively. So I think I'm going to stick with Gabriel, and we might just pass on Aït-Nouri. And then in the midfield's pretty set. Obviously, lots to talk about with Maddison, but I like the Spurs triple up in the middle. This is their best fixture remaining, really, with Forest at home. And Mo and Palmer are just, they're locks. And then moving up front, we've got Haaland, who's going to get the captaincy armband. I think after Foden's hat trick and the fact that Haaland was rested and Roy Keane called him a second or third division level player, I think he's going to come back with a vengeance, and I could easily see 2 goals here for him. So he's getting captaincy. Jackson's going to stay, and then Isak's going to stay. Isak's been an absolute legend. So moving on to the transfer plans, just looking ahead 1 week. The plan was to go Bradley, Kelleher, and Maddison out for my 3 transfers between Game Week 30 and Game Week 33. I think Bradley, for now, is going to stay, especially given Lascelles' injury. Bradley's one I want to get rid of, but he may play in 33. Depends on Trent's health, and Lascelles is just dead weight. And you'll see there's a great replacement for Lascelles right now. Brighton have the double in Game Week 37, and they have an amazing fixture in Game Week 33. So Van Heck is a very cheap option from Brighton that I think can do well. He's not somebody that, you're in love with, but you can play him for those couple of weeks, and especially at his price, he's a pretty good 5th defender to keep on your bench. So I think Van Heck is going to come in for Lascelles. I could roll again, but then I'd burn a transfer since I rolled last week. So I've got 2 transfers that I could make this week. And essentially it's between Lascelles to Van Heck, Bradley to Aït-Nouri, or Kelleher to Onana. And I know for sure that Onana is going to come in for Kelleher. And I also think at this point Lascelles is definitely going to go to Van Heck. Now, there's another defender that I'd really like to bring in Game Week 35 in Dalot or Trippier, if Trippier is healthy. I think that has huge upside. So I would need to consider the budget on that one. But for right now, Onana and Van Heck are definitely coming in. I think Bradley waits another week and we get some more updates on Trent. And we're currently sitting at 25,000 in the world. The goal is to get to 10,000 in the world within 2 weeks. I think we could do it, especially if those Spurs assets perform this week. So we'll make another video next week. We'll get an update on how we did and we'll look ahead. And then the following week is going to be a big one because it'll be the free hit draft. So I can pick any players we want just for 1 week. I've been spending a lot of time on FPL the whole season. We're doing well, so it just feels like the right thing to me for my just sort of a creative outlet to be making these videos. So if you like these things, give it a like, keep watching, and I'll see you guys next time.